Welcome back to the Gary Sutton Show, the Friday morning edition here. Good Friday for Christians around the world, and hopefully it's a good Friday for you today anyway, but certainly a lot to think about here today on the Gary Sutton Show. And there's some good things happening here locally and some things that a group of pastors have gotten together to do. Bob Thome is the urban pastor at Grace Fellowship Church in North Cordorus Township, and he joins us here on the Gary Sutton Show this morning. Good morning, Pastor Thome. How are you?
Hi, Gary. I'm doing fine.
Great to have you on the show this morning. You and I talked yesterday, and you and a group of other pastors have gotten together to do something. I know you're the urban pastor there, and you're doing a lot of things downtown in the city of York. Tell us a little bit about what's going on.
Well, Grace Fellowship has a partnership with Ferguson K-8, which is part of the school district of the city of York.
Right.
We've been here for about 8 years doing different types of programs. And last year we had a conversation about bringing the arts back to the middle school level. And Ferguson operates the STEM program for students who apply and are accepted. It's science, technology, engineering, and math.
Right.
And we added this year an A to STEM to make STEAM for the arts. And today I have also sitting with me is Denise Blackwell, who's the principal here at Ferguson.
Okay. Good morning, Principal Blackwell. How are you this morning?
Lovely. How are you?
Doing very well. Talk a little bit about the arts, because I know you hear a lot of arguments over the years that, arts programs get to be too big. In this case, they were eliminated. So where's the happy medium for that?
I think this is a great opportunity for our students to be able to expose to what they can do in the arts. We're unveiling a lot of talent that we don't know that we would have ever found if they weren't given the opportunity to do this musical.
Talk a little bit about the musical and what it is that's coming up there.
Okay, on May 9th and 10th at William Penn, 7 p.m. each night, the students will perform Seussical Jr. We began in September, and we have been working through the school year preparing them for this musical. The tickets are $5, and we really are encouraging the community to come out and not just vocally talk about we need positive things, but to really come out and show their support to these students who are making a positive impact as part of their education with this musical.
Ms. Blackwell, as a principal, and I also hold a principal certificate and had a dad who was a principal, so I'm greatly appreciative of what you have to go through many times. But, so many times we don't hear enough good news stories out of the city and out of the city schools. We hear more about the financial problems that city schools are in and so forth. Talk a little bit about some of the good things that are happening right now inside the city school district, and particularly at your school at Ferguson.
Ferguson is a great place to be. We have a lot of parent support here at Ferguson, which helps. Just for starters, we have after-school tutoring programs going on. We have 2 basketball teams that actually Pastor Thome and Coach Nate initiated for us, and we have some other help with that as well. And just the whole thing right now surrounding the STEAM program, which actually it has students from across the district, which is really cool. So we're not just Ferguson students here. Students from Jackson, whatever. But the whole thing that's going on with the musical is more than just getting on stage. They are building their own set. They are designing their own logo. They are doing their own tickets. They're going to be doing ushering that night. So to bring all the aspects of STEM, the science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, into it is great. So they're getting an opportunity that they would not have gotten before. And
it sounds like it's really kind of a real group effort here. How many kids are actually involved in this whole thing? I would
probably about 60 students right now, and that's just along with Pastor Thome has some volunteers, and then we have teachers for the STEM team that are helping as well. And then right now the 60 students is the stage crew and the cast. And then even closer to the time, we're going to have more students involved because we're going to need ushers and different people to get the lobby ready at the high school. So when you walk in, it's really a Dr. Seuss theme going on.
So I guess as you're training ushers, you're teaching kids a little bit about manners there. As you're building sets, you're teaching kids about working on something here with their hands and building something that's going to be quality. I mean, it sounds like just there's a nice array of talents that are being put to use here.
Absolutely. So if you don't want to be on stage in front of people, there's plenty of other things that they can do. They're learning how to use the sound system, the lighting. It gave us the opportunity to bring some high school students in to help with the lighting and the stage things going on. We do rehearsals between Ferguson and many days and evenings, our kids actually go to the high school so they can practice on the stage that they're going to be performing on.
Bob, you were talking to me yesterday a little bit off air about you and a group of other pastors had gotten together on this, and you wanted to see the arts come back. Tell me how you view the city and how you view the school district and what's going on there and so forth.
Well, about a year and a half ago, another pastor, Danny Evans, and myself sat down with the superintendent, and we just shared that we noticed, being in the community, that a lot of the students who attend the schools have a lot of talent, and we really hope to see that those students could use their talent in some way. And so we started talking, and then a board member for the district and myself found out about this STEAM program where arts was introduced into STEM.
Right.
We were able to bring in a professor from Virginia Tech who met with the STEM teachers and the administration, talked about how this would work. We had some people in our church finance bringing her in, as well as putting up the money to purchase the rights to Seussical Jr. We have people in the community from York Little Theater and other places who joined forces with us, and it became a reality as the leadership in the administration said, let's do this. And so the volunteers came together, and as Mrs. Blackwell said, working with the STEM teachers, our goal is now making it a reality. We're
talking about Mrs. Blackwell, who's the principal at Ferguson Elementary, and also Bob Thome, who is the urban pastor right now at Grace Fellowship Church in North Cordorus Township. Mrs. Blackwell, in a day and age where we constantly read about financial problems that schools are having, not being able to, afford sports things, not being able to afford different things in the arts and so forth, it's got to be really a good thing for you to see this kind of volunteerism coming together to help you out during this time. And it may be a blueprint for the future for other people.
Oh, it's wonderful. There's no way we would be able to do this without them. And I think, Grace Fellowship 8 years ago when they came to us and we started doing parent cafes, trying to get our families in for evening meals, we haven't stopped. And so because of that partnership, it has opened up the door for other partnerships as well. And so we have a lot of churches in our surrounding area that help Ferguson every year with donations. They've come in, they've taught different classes with the kids, they've run programs after school. So our partnership with Grace Fellowship has definitely led us in other directions within the faith community, faith-based community partnerships, and we don't ever turn them down. They're wonderful.
You look at, you said about having like evening cafes and so forth with parents coming in to have meals and whatnot. Do you find some pretty good opportunities then to maybe make some points with parents to get them to be reinforcing the kind of values that you want to see there at school? Do you get a chance to get them together in groups and say, hey, here's how important education really is for your kids?
Well, it's interesting because one of the first things that happens with Parent Cafe is they come in and Grace Fellowship provides a meal. So right there, we're doing family meals together, and that's really important because that doesn't happen a lot in anywhere because everybody's so busy. So that's nice. We do that the first Thursday of the month. And then from there, the children have an activity, and Pastor Thome does an activity with the parents. And so that's the opportunity there that he addresses a lot of different situations from parenting to budgeting to behavior, just really good pointers, and has built a lot of really good relationships with our families by doing that.
Pastor Thome, how receptive have parents been in getting those kind of programs that you're offering then after the meal and, sitting down and saying, hey, here are some things that maybe really could help you and ultimately help your children as well?
We offer, like Mrs. Blackwell said, we offer so many different things, and then we take it a step further. As a certified life coach, I also say to parents, if you want to meet one-on-one, I would be glad to talk with you.
Right.
We have 30 minutes, and so we kind of throw the topic out there, discuss it a little bit, and then, encourage the parents to come for more help.
Now, are the families getting involved in the musical here at all in terms of any volunteerism there? Are they helping out at all, Mrs. Blackwell?
Yes, there have been some. There are some that go to rehearsals, help with that. I know one of the things now we're looking for are costumes, so there will hopefully be some parents helping with costumes as well. One of the biggest things we need right now is just making sure that their children get to practices. Over the next couple of weeks, the practices are going to be evening practices as we get down to the crunch.
Right.
So making sure that their children get there on time and are picked up on time is one of the biggest things we need right now, because you can't have a full practice without everybody in place. And so they've been working with us to do that, which has been really helpful.
Pastor Thome, final thoughts on this. What, you talk about a musical, and a lot of people say, well, it's not a big deal. But to her Ferguson school, it's a big deal. And I think to a lot of people who maybe haven't had the arts in there for a while, it's a big deal. And to people getting together, I think it's a big deal, right?
Yes, it is. It's a big deal, and it's very exciting, because we took these students at the beginning of the year who basically had no idea what a musical was like, and today they're singing. People are amazed at the strength of their voices. Some of those students are great, and so it's been a lot of work, but it's been fun. I see the students. I mean, I hear reports from teachers about how their students have a whole different attitude and spirit this year, and positive things from the classroom to what we see in the kids, the responsibility. I mean, there are 34 songs in this musical, and many of those kids have memorized that whole.
Wow. Now, final question for you, and this is one, you hear so many times people screaming about separation of church and state and all that kind of thing, and yet here you are working together as a member of a church, working together with a public school, and it's a wonderful combination. I'd love to hear from you and Mrs. Blackwell your thoughts on that relationship and that partnership.
I think for me as a pastor, I understand the boundary line.
Right.
And I respect that, and yet at the same time, there are many people within the school who have a faith-based background, and they look for counseling or other things in relation to their faith, which we take outside the school.
Right. And
we have a community building that we're able to meet with them. So I respect the district and understand the position that schools have, and that respect and mutual respect has taken us a long way.
Great point. Mrs. Blackwell?
I agree totally. It's, when Pastor Thome and his group come in here, they take on our children as family, and that's really what we are. We are one big family. So I don't even think about the church and school and anything like that. It's not like they're coming in here and preaching everything for our kids. It's setting a good example and being role models for our children and our families. And our relationship has grown from there, and it's wonderful. It's like it was supposed to be this way.
Yeah, I think you hit a great point there, Dean. It's like it's supposed to be this way. We're supposed to be working together for the benefit of the biggest product that we put out there, not to sound cold, which is our children, and getting them out there and doing good things, and maybe even finding some kids that all of a sudden were waiting to blossom and didn't have the opportunity, and now here they are, maybe stepping out of a cocoon. Again, May 9th and 10th, where can people get the tickets for this?
Right here at Ferguson. We have them in our main office. You can call 849-1344. We can get them to you that way. You can stop in. We can get them for you. Tickets will also be available at William Penn High School that night of the programs. We also will be around First Friday, downtown York. We will have tickets then, and at our parade and rally on May 3rd at Penn Park, we will have tickets there as well. So there's plenty of opportunity.
I think it would be a neat thing for people just out there listening, maybe to support something really good happening here, not just because it's in the city, but because we're all people getting together trying to help people. Pastor Thome, Mrs. Blackwell, I truly appreciate you being on the show this morning. Thank you so very much.
Thank you for having us. This is wonderful.
And happy Easter to both of you, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. Here's a good news story for you, right? People getting together and helping kids. Yeah. Hey, people of religion, people of faith, people in public schools, yeah, they can actually do something. Nice to hear.